Brothers and sisters, friends from every village and town, elders who remember seasons of scarcity, and young people whose hands and hopes will shape the harvest of tomorrow. Tonight I speak to you about a momentous decision that will alter the arc of our nation's economic life. A landmark agreement has been struck, one that brings with it the possibility of transformation on a scale we have seldom imagined, a record-breaking $60 billion cotton partnership with a major trading partner in Asia. This is not merely a commercial contract, it is a statement about ambition, about the dignity of farming, and about our right to choose a path of development that centers our people. Let us be candid about what this means. For too long, our cotton economy was defined by extractive value chains, raw fiber leaving our fields at low prices, captured value accruing elsewhere, and the risks of fluctuating commodity markets left in the hands of smallholders. This deal changes the balance. It is designed not only to buy fiber in large volumes, but to build capacity along the entire chain here at home. Better seed, extension services, irrigation and storage, local ginning and spinning, textile manufacturing, and export logistics that bring finished cloth to global shelves. It commits to investments in processing capacity, to long-term offtake guarantees, and to financing arrangements that protect and empower producers rather than leaving them exposed. The first impact we must celebrate is for our farmers. Cotton is not merely an export crop, it is the lifeblood of millions of households. With stable, predictable contracts, farmers can plan seasons instead of guessing them. They can access credit without the crushing terms that used to follow a missed harvest. We will implement contract farming frameworks that include clear price formulas tied to quality and market indices, timely payments delivered into bank or mobile accounts, and dispute resolution mechanisms that are local and fast. We will make sure aggregation centers are professionally managed, equipped with calibrated scales and moisture testing, and linked to a national digital platform so that every bale has a traceable life, from farm, through ginning, to the finished fabric. This agreement also brings unprecedented finance to the sector. A portion of the $60 billion will be allocated to concessional credit lines for smallholders, guarantees for cooperatives, and matched grants for community-level processing hubs. These funds will be managed transparently, with public dashboards tracking disbursements, targets, and outcomes. No opaque deals, no mysterious intermediaries. Everything will be auditable. We will ensure that credit reaches the farmer, not invisible middlemen, and that interest rates are affordable and predictable. Value addition is the central principle of this partnership. We will not export raw fiber and call it progress. Instead, this deal attaches clear milestones, investments in ginning capacity, in efficient spinning mills, in dyeing and finishing plants, and in garment factories that employ our people. Each stage will create jobs for machine operators, for quality specialists, for logistics planners, and for managers. The goal is to capture an increasing share of the final retail price here at home. Imagine not only bales leaving ports, but finished shirts, textiles, and home goods carrying our labels and creating brands that people around the world recognize. That is wealth that stays, wages paid to our workers, taxes collected to improve schools and clinics, and profits that can be reinvested into local industry. But local jobs are not enough. Skills must be built. The partnership includes training programs across the value chain. Agricultural extension services will teach climate-smart agronomy, soil health, pest management, planting windows, and water-saving irrigation where viable. Technical institutes will certify ginner operators, textile technicians, and quality assurance professionals to international standards. We will establish a textile academy that offers apprenticeships and links with industry so that a young person in a rural town can master a craft and find employment without leaving the country. Women will be prioritized in training and hiring. This is an opportunity to close gender gaps and ensure households benefit directly from new earnings. Sustainability is another pillar. Cotton has been criticized historically for its water use and pesticide intensity. We will insist that expansion be climate smart and environmentally responsible. Our approach includes investment in improved seed varieties that yield more per hectare and resist pests, promotion of integrated pest management that reduces chemical use, and support for water-efficient irrigation methods where economically feasible. Soil conservation measures, crop rotation, and intercropping will be promoted to maintain fertility and protect long-term productivity. Environmental impact assessments will be public and rigorous. Where large-scale irrigation or land use changes are proposed, they will proceed only with full community consent and solid mitigation plans. Land and rights will be respected. The partnership cannot, will not, and must not proceed at the expense of communities. We will require free, prior, and informed consent for any land use changes. Where small-scale holdings are pooled for economies of scale, agreements must be transparent and voluntary, with clear benefits and protections for original landholders. Resettlement, if ever considered, will be a last resort and will include fair compensation, replacement land of equal value, and programs to restore livelihoods. The dignity and rights of farmers and pastoralists are central. Development that ignores them is not development at all. Let us speak about price. One criticism of big deals is that they wash over the volatility of commodity markets. This agreement provides a structural answer, a mix of fixed price tranches for basic volumes, premium payments for certified quality or sustainable practices, and floating components tied to global indices for additional volumes. This hybrid approach balances predictability for smallholders with market responsiveness for traders and processors. Moreover, a portion of export revenues will seed a stabilization mechanism and a producers fund that can support farmers in lean seasons, subsidize inputs, and finance storage, so sales can wait for better prices rather than being forced by cash need. Quality and standards will be elevated. Buyers will pay premiums for consistently high-grade fiber. To achieve this, we will invest in local testing labs, accredited to international norms, and train extension officers to help farmers meet the required specifications, fiber length, strength, and cleanliness. We will create incentives for quality, not just quantity. A farmer who reaches premium standards must be rewarded at the market, and the system will make those rewards visible and verifiable. Transparency and governance are non-negotiable. Contracts, financing terms, procurement processes for associated infrastructure, and social and environmental contracts must all be published in accessible formats. Independent auditors and civil society observers will have access to project accounts and performance metrics. Parliamentary committees will be briefed and able to scrutinize. Open data platforms will show volumes bought, prices paid, jobs created, and environmental indicators. This is not mere bureaucracy. It is the assurance that the deal will serve the public interest and not rent-seeking interests. Infrastructure will be upgraded as part of the deal. Roads that connect producing regions to ginning plants will be prioritized, and investments in cold chain are less relevant for cotton, but logistics hubs, secure warehousing, and improved port handling capacities are central. We will seek to develop rail and road corridors to reduce transport costs and port delays. Every kilometer of improved road reduces spoilage and raises margins for farmers. Port efficiency must improve so that containers and bales move swiftly and do not pile up, adding cost. The partnership dedicates funds for targeted infrastructure that benefits both exports and the domestic economy. Financing will be structured to avoid debt traps and to maximize local control. The $60 billion headline includes direct purchase commitments, foreign direct investment into processing facilities, concessional lines for rural finance, and blended finance mechanisms that crowd in private capital while protecting public risk. Debt will be calibrated and sovereign guarantees used sparingly. We will prefer joint venture structures and minority stakes where appropriate to spread risk. Transparency clauses will publish all debts and their conditions. We will not mortgage future budgets for short-term headline wins. This agreement also shifts geopolitics. It diversifies our partnerships and reduces exposure to a single market's whims. Strategic diversification has value. It buys us bargaining power and the capacity to resist coercive conditionalities. But diversification must be rooted in reciprocity and respect. Our partners will be asked to commit to local content, technology transfer, and long-term capacity building, not short-term extractive buying that leaves the country exposed once the season ends. We must be honest about risks. Large deals attract speculation, rent-seeking, and the temptation to cut corners. They can also create dependency if our economy becomes too concentrated around one crop and one buyer. We will therefore embed mechanisms to ensure economic diversification. Parallel investments will support downstream industries, encourage crop rotation to maintain soil health, and provide safe exits for farmers who choose other livelihoods. A producers fund will help finance small entrepreneurs who convert cotton byproducts into soap, animal feed, or other local goods. Community engagement will be constant. Town hall consultations, participatory monitoring, and local grievance mechanisms ensure that the voices of those affected are heard. Compensation, when needed, will be fair and immediate. Public funds will underwrite community development projects, clinics, schools, and water systems tied to the progress of the initiative. The social license to operate must be earned daily, not assumed once contracts are signed. This deal offers a rare chance to build regional value chains. Instead of exporting alone, we can create hubs that serve neighboring countries, processing fiber into yarn and textiles for a regional market. Harmonized standards and mutual agreements on trade facilitation can turn our factories into regional suppliers, creating economies of scale and attracting further investment. Technology and innovation will be central. We will support selective mechanization and labor-saving tools that raise productivity without displacing labor unnecessarily. Digital platforms will give farmers real-time prices, weather forecasts, and agronomic advice. Satellite imagery and mobile data can detect pest outbreaks and enable rapid responses. E-payments and traceability platforms will make markets more efficient and reduce corruption. Education and human capital go hand in hand with industrialization. Scholarships, vocational training, and university partnerships are part of the deal's fabric. Young engineers, textile designers, quality managers, and logistics specialists will be trained to run these new facilities. Education is the thread that turns a contract into a sustainable national capability. Let us speak about the moral dimension. This moment is about dignity. It is about turning the hard work of millions of rural households into stable earnings, about creating jobs that offer skills and prospects, and about building an economy where the fruits of labor translate into better schools, working clinics, and safer towns. When our cotton is processed locally and sold under our labels, pride accompanies profit. We must also safeguard food security. Expanding cotton should not crowd out food crops. Land use decisions must favor mixed farming systems, and buffer stocks must be maintained so that exports do not drive up domestic prices. A balance will be struck. Productivity gains, not reckless expansion, will underpin growth. Implementation will be staged and measured. The agreement sets phased milestones, initial offtake volumes performed in year 1. Construction of processing capacity within specified windows, certification labs operational by year 2, and full-scale export logistics optimized by year 3 and beyond. Performance indicators will be published, and failure to meet social or environmental benchmarks will trigger sanctions within the contract. We will insist on adaptive management, learning and correcting as we go. This is also a story of governance reform. The scale of investment demands stronger public institutions, procurement offices professionalized to international standards, anti-corruption units empowered to investigate, and procurement processes digitized to reduce discretion. A national oversight board, including civil society, farmer representatives, and independent auditors, will review progress quarterly. To the farmers who may fear change, hear this: your land, your labor, and your choices are respected. Participation is voluntary and protected by clear rules. To workers, the factories we build will pursue high labor standards, protections, and career pathways. To investors and partners, we offer clarity, enforceable contracts, and a stable legal environment. To neighbors and regional partners, we seek partnerships, not competition, and invite collaboration that raises prosperity across borders. If we get this right, the $60 billion will be more than a number. It will be a multi-decade engine for transformation. It will fund the modernization of agriculture, the creation of a textile industry that employs tens of thousands, the development of logistics and services, and the upgrading of human capital. It will establish an export brand associated with quality and fairness, and create fiscal space to invest in health, education, and infrastructure. But promises alone are not sufficient. We must govern with courage, manage with humility, and measure with rigor. We must celebrate successes humbly and correct failures publicly. Let every citizen be able to see the books, to follow the progress, and to demand accountability. That transparency is the only way to ensure that the gains are broad-based and durable. Tonight we stand at the threshold of a new chapter, one where farmers are not afterthoughts, but central actors, where factories hum with local skill, where exports carry our labels, and where a nation transforms raw labor into sustainable livelihoods. This agreement is an instrument, not an end. It must be wielded with wisdom, with respect for communities, with environmental care, and with relentless commitment to inclusion. So let us seize this moment together. Let us train our children for the jobs to come, retrofit our institutions for the demands of scale, and hold one another accountable as stewards of common prosperity. Let us ensure that when historians look back on this time, they see not merely a contract signed, but a country that chose to invest in itself, in its people, its land, and its rightful place in the global economy. May the bales we bundle be a testament to dignity, and may the cloth we spin wrap not only bodies, but the promise of a future built by our hands. May this deal, if governed rightly, become the foundation of sustained growth, social inclusion, and national pride for generations to come. Let us get to work. My friends, if we are to turn a great deal into lasting dignity, we must begin by putting farmers at the center of every choice. Farmer empowerment and fair prices are not charity, they are justice and smart economics. A farmer who knows she will be paid fairly and on time will invest in better seed, in soil health, and in the future of her land. A farmer who has bargaining power will not be captive to middlemen. Instead, she will have savings, credit, and the confidence to send her children to school. Practically, empowerment starts with clear, enforceable contracts. Long-term offtake agreements must be written in plain language, translated into local tongues, and include transparent price formulas tied to objective quality metrics and market indices. Payments will be digital and immediate mobile transfers or bank deposits that go straight to household accounts, removing the slow, opaque chains that have eaten farmers' margins for too long. No farmer should be paid weeks or months late, while traders profit from delay. Aggregation centers and professional cooperatives give smallholders scale, equipped with calibrated scales, moisture meters, drying facilities, and honest management. These centers allow farmers to sell as a group and negotiate as equals. Cooperative governance must be transparent, audited books, elected leadership, and training in record-keeping, so members truly own their institutions. Warehouse receipt financing can turn stored cotton into working capital, letting farmers avoid distressed sales and wait for better prices. Risk management protects livelihoods. Weather index insurance that pays automatically when drought or flood thresholds are met will be offered alongside subsidized premiums in early years. Contingent credit lines backed by guarantees reduce bank reluctance to lend to smallholders. These tools make farming investable rather than perilous. Quality premiums reward stewardship. Training and extension services will help farmers meet fiber standards that command higher prices. Independent testing labs and clear grading protocols ensure premiums are paid fairly. When sustainable practices reduce pesticide use, crop rotation, water-saving measures produce better quality, farmers must receive visible bonuses for that stewardship. Inclusion is essential. Women farmers and youth should receive priority access to training, credit, and leadership roles in cooperatives. Childcare support at training centers, gender-sensitive financing,